It's been a while, and we're back with another episode 32, and I'm here with the awesome Sheena White. Sheena, we're just gonna jump straight into this. I don't know how to introduce you, so tell us a little bit
Oh,
about
well,
what you do.
let's see. Right now, I am transitioning. I'm a transition specialist. So let's say that I have gone through quite a bit in my life, and I have a background in project management. I have a degree in interdisciplinary studies, which is studying how things work together, not always necessarily an individual science, but the cross pollination of those sciences. So transition is what I'm specializing in right now. Whether it's going through life changes, career changes. I know right now I have a couple of clients that are teachers looking to get into the tech space. I myself have gone from entrepreneur of different industries where I just closed down 2 brick-and-mortar locations, and I focus now on consulting and doing transitions, working with a lot of spaces right now to help them figure out booking and scheduling and things that we picked up along the way. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, is this something you picked up after closing down your buildings, or were you doing that simultaneously?
I kind of did simultaneously, and honestly, that's how it all got started.
Okay.
I've been an entrepreneur for years, so I had a previous location in Summerfield called Soul Space, and that was just more of again a need to put some like my community somewhere as I was building it. So I've gone through different programs with the city. I've gone through like the eBay Revo Arrival program. There was
I saw that.
many different opportunities that I've had to learn about different businesses, different aspects of businesses, and then a really amazing network of entrepreneurs and corporations. Locked and loaded with the Chamber of Commerce. We're really successful in that space, being the Community Contributor Award and then the People's Choice Award our first year even in the award program. So just really leveraging that and kind of realizing that people just wanted, I didn't need a building for people to access me. And it was a bigger benefit for me to go into other people's space and see what they had going on and give, my professional feedback or, even just an advice. Sometimes it's just a hug. I can't do this month, or my client, I had this booked and it fell through. Like sometimes it's just a hug. You know what I mean? I'm just there for those different type of transitions, the emotional side of business. What it's like, I got an event by my kids, like, right? Like we can figure that kind of stuff out.
Okay.
I'm making sure that people have a balance so that way they can share their gifts and talents with the world.
Okay. So where did you pick up this entrepreneurial background?
I think I was probably born with it, but I would like to say my grandparents, my grandmother, my father's side, she was a cosmetologist, and she had her own, she did hair, and she had a place built onto our backyard. And then my grandfather, my mom's father, was a barber. So he also, as a side gig, he primarily worked, he was an engineer at the shipyard. He worked at the shipyard for 45 years, Newport News Shipbuilding. Back then, it's called Northrop Grumman now or something like that.
Where's that at?
Newport News, Virginia.
Okay.
So he had a barbershop in our backyard, and I watched him, build the initial barbershop, and then he did these upgrades, and it was so nice. And it wasn't just a job. It was something he loved to do. It brought all of his talents together. He was an amazing builder. So it gave him the opportunity to build something and run electric and run plumbing, all the things that he enjoyed doing in one space. So just kind of watching that. And my mom, she's very much a doer. She's one of those, like, she has the Midas touch. Like, if she thinks she can do something or she says she can do something, she can do it. And it's kind of creepy sometimes because she's really amazing at it. She say, I want to braid your hair. She going to sit down and braid your hair. It's like, you don't even have, like, a frame of reference, but how did you accomplish this, So I think just being around them and constantly seeing them just do, it is, what we identify as an entrepreneurial mindset, but we're just creative and we know how to monetize that. So, and then understand that there are layers to it, having a foundation set so you can fall back on yourself. So it's a little less scary to be an entrepreneur because everything in the world isn't resting on it. Right. I've built a foundation. I've made some really good choices, really good financial decisions to be able to lean back on when it would be scary, but it's like, okay, I still got my own back. Right. So just, even my grandfather was very into financial conversations when we were younger. He made a point to talk about budgets and those type of things, and that just translated over to, I guess, business acumen and, entrepreneurial mindset for me.
I know you from originally from way back in the day at AT&T, correct? So now everything's different. We're both entrepreneurs. Were you doing anything entrepreneurial back in those days?
No, I mean, I've always done something. So I've sold Mary Kay, I've sold Arbonne, I've done like mid-level marketing. I did Sheena. Sheena started at AT&T.
Okay.
I had just moved back here from Missouri. I was in Missouri from 2007 to 2012. Moved back here in 2012, and I got into these bracelets. I went into this store, and I wanted a bracelet, but I couldn't afford the bracelet, so I figured out how to make it, and then I started making them. And fast forward where we worked out at, that the person who owned the store worked out there too, and I was like, yo, let me put my bracelets, like I make those bracelets now. And that ended up being like a 3-year deal with them to carry the bracelets in their store. So that's really kind of how it started, like my own business. And then, like I said, getting on with eBay, retail revival, understanding like large commerce, or e-commerce, and then, doing the website and getting, better at that. So it just kind of continued to snowball to where it became where I wanted to learn more. So I did, classes with GTCC, classes with the SBTDC here in Greensboro at the library, and learned and put myself in as many places as I could to learn, and made bracelets for just about everybody in Greensboro. So then, just kind of some things I had ended up having. My grandmother passed away. Just kind of hit hard, back to back with life, and then COVID. So it made it a little harder to do like vending and things like that. So just having to transition, and then kind of building that community over COVID, and then even before COVID, and then coming back out, outside was open again. It was like people needed a place to go. People need, somewhere to be that wasn't their job. They still worked from home, but we are tired of being in the house. So that's kind of how Fiberspace came along. And it was just an adventure to say, how can I support the people in my community that exist already? And from there, we added on the boutique. We did the boutique for a while. We had a podcast studio. We had event space. We had photography space. We had workshops. We, did it all under the sun. We expanded into another building. I learned a lot about maintenance and plumbing in that location. So at the time, and even now, fostering the relationships of the people that are in both of those locations now, because those locations didn't sit. And that was very, important for me to not leave it and it just be empty. So I wanted to make sure people were in there before I left. So we got Smash. I almost called them Smash City Radio. So that was Smash Photographers. She's in our 227 location, and then someone's opening up something in the 229 location in December. But I'm still being a part of that community, the downtown community, where it's sure, I don't have the space there, but they're still living and breathing, and it's even more now. And it freed me from like the prison that was the space. I was kind of like being Rapunzel, like you're inside, like I want to come support you guys, I want to come to all your things and all the this and all of that, but I'm at work. And then on the weekends when people have events, I'm at work. And then I squeeze in my family. So kind of when it came down to making some different difficult decisions, it was like, I don't want my son's childhood, to look back and be like, oh, my mom was at work, like she missed football, I didn't get to play football because of this, or I didn't want that. So even, because I'm an entrepreneur, like I'm really the only one that's really nailed into this thing like this. I could, not to say I can walk away, because, again, the community's still there. I'm still here. I need a building for y'all to get me. I'm a DM away. So I'm just freeing up myself more to go support other people. And, the turnaround has been lovely. It has been so freeing and so nice. I get to go to see coffee shops that I hadn't been in. And I get to go to places I hadn't been just because they're open when we were open. And I don't like to compete. I don't like to feel like I'm competing.
So speaking of like closing down the location, was that hard for you to do? Because when I left downtown, when we spoke off mic about my location, when I left, for me, it almost felt like, I failed, because I was worried about what people would think, like, he couldn't afford it, or da 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 da. Yes. So like, how
I
did you?
definitely went through that, and I think that's just part of like the grief cycle. You know what I mean? Like that's just part of it. I feel a lot of stuff in my life, so it just doesn't hurt as much anymore. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? And people gonna think about you what they're gonna think about you, no matter what. You know how you play the game in school where one person says something and then by the time it comes back, it's completely different. That's the story of my life. And then I'm not from here. So like anybody could say whatever and nobody's going to back me up. It's like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I was terrified. I cried. I hid it. Not to say I hid, but I locked myself in my room that whole first week of November. Like I didn't answer the phone. I didn't anything.
This is recent.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So 229 or 227 closed, and we shut the doors on that September 1st, and then turned right around, kind of unexpectedly. But I think the momentum of closing had kind of got to me, and by November 1st, we were out of 229. So yeah, that first week of November. And at the same time, like people don't know, like my brother was in ICU at the time for the whole month almost. Yeah. So, and then, you know, we got Christmas or Thanksgiving, you know, my mom's about to have surgery. Like life is happening at lightning speed at the moment. But yeah, I took that first week to be like, oh my God. But I'm a planner, so I did take the time that week before to send emails to all of the members to say, hey, this is what's going on. Mm-hmm. I had the conversations that I needed to have with the people that I needed to have them with. And that made it a lot easier. Them understanding my landlord when I was like, I can't do this no more. And she was like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily right away. Right. But she was like, okay, like, and we have a great relationship because, you know, she owns both of the buildings that I was in.
Okay.
So, it was, again, the community that was like, we got you, girl. Don't worry about it. You know, that we ain't got to go down there no way, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it was really hard. And then that was, it was a good lesson in separating myself again for probably 2-3 years. Like I was Fiberspace, and closing Fiberspace is like, who the hell am I now?
Yeah.
And that's crazy because I'm Sheena,
right.
And sometimes you just kind of have to, you know, take a step back and cool off. And like I said, I've been on go for years straight. You know?
I saw you posting a lot.
It is just like, it had just been a lot for a very long time. Over the summer, I had surgery. I was out of work for almost 2 months straight. So it was just like, okay, there's a lot of transition happening, whether I like it or not. So I can go with it or I can fight it. Yeah. And let me see what it look like to go with it right now because I don't have the energy to fight it. And I'm going to tell you what, go with the flow was really one of the best things because, you know, I got to the shore and like, now I'm sitting down doing podcasts, like the things that I really enjoy doing and the things that are fruitful. Like nobody is benefiting from me sitting behind those walls in 229. Right. So once I really, again, started to lock back into my why, you know, cultivating creativity and others so they can share their gifts and talents with the world. Once I locked back into what that was, it wasn't no build. And it's nothing that nobody gonna say. Like, y'all not gonna fight me? Was you gonna beat my ass? Nah, you're not. And like I said, it has been great. So now every Friday, it's like, Sheena, you coming to see us on Friday? Actually, yes. So now I got a month worth of places I'm about to be. You know what I'm saying? And these are potential clients. These are people who are like, hey, you know how to do this. So it has been very, very, very nice. And nice to kind of lean into myself. Like I'm going through that transition to all the Sheena stuff that I've built all the years. Mm-hmm. The essential oils stuff on my website, the cooking, the sports, game day operations, like all the things that I do and I love that people just don't know. I'm like, that's really the interesting stuff. Like business is cool, but girl, you was riding a Porsche last week. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I want people to know.
I got you. So speaking of games and stuff, I be seeing you on the court with B. Dot. Mm-hmm. So what's that about? So
it started off, I've always been a sports head. I am probably one of the only girls in my family. Like my dad is the oldest of 5 boys. Mm-hmm. Everything is just sports. We just lived and breathed sports our whole lives. And I've always loved sports. So Beta had come up with and I love to talk. Mm-hmm. No kidding. So Beta had come up with this sports hosting class a year ago, about a year, a little more than a year ago. And, I joined the class because I was like, you know, I could do PA announcing. I could do that. Mm-hmm. And he gave us the opportunity to like shadow certain places. So I went to the Winston-Salem game because I was like, I hadn't been to a game yet as an alumni, so I probably should go to a game. Right. And having the press box experience, it was like, oh, this is different. Mm-hmm. So because I already come from an operational background, because I've done operations. I used to do when I was in Missouri, we had a roller derby league, and I did PR for the league. I did bout operations, like about is like a game for roller derby. So, putting together, finding location, finding vendors, insurance, all the things that come along with, the operational setup of these large events is something I already had skill in. So paired that with, oh, can I come with you to this thing? And he's like, yeah. So then last year we went to Vegas. He was like, look, I'm doing this thing with CP3 Academy, the second part of the HBCU Invitational in Vegas. Can you come? Sure. Absolutely. I bought a ticket and flew out to Vegas. I had never been to Vegas before, no desire to go to Vegas, but this opportunity was there, so boom. Yeah. So now I have the opportunity to be like at the ground level of the whole event. So we're, talking to the people who do lights, talking to the people who do audio, everybody is like on a sheet, and there's one person who tells everybody what to do. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So about a month later, not even a month later, we got back from Vegas. Doc called and was like, hey, I got a team down in South Carolina that is doing an invitational, and they don't have a crew. Like, you could come do, what we did out in Vegas. And I'm like, okay. Like, he was just doing PA, but it was like, I was able to facilitate the people coming in and out of the area, and people take notice to that kind of thing. Like, oh, she know what she doing, even if you don't. Like, sometimes you just gotta look like you do.
Yeah.
Right, but you really do. You know what I mean? So I talked to the crew down at the HBCU MLK Invitational, and they hired me. They paid for my lodge. Like, that was the first. I was like, oh shoot. And I had to come up with the script. I had to tell the lights when to turn on. I had to tell you when to play the Star Spangled Banner. I got to tell you when to play this sponsor. I got to tell the PA when to read. I need security to say this. We got a lost car or whatever. Yeah. So there's one person really that wrangles all of that together, that runs your show. Wow. So that is the space that I ran into. I should be my mama. I knew it. I'm sorry.
Are you good?
Yes, okay. She is, but she's going to call 50,000 times because that's how she is. Okay. She probably got the time for surgery tomorrow. Okay. So sorry. Get the gig in South Carolina, and now basketball season starts to wind down and get slow, but football season picks up. So now we're back at it, and I'm like, hey, B-Dot, you need a spotter on campus, like, no matter what. So that's how I end up being a spotter again. But then now I have, reputation with alumni and the game day operations crew there on campus. So they're like, hey, Sheena, can you this, that, and the other? So I was like, I slowly became, my own entity in the team. So now, I kind of, not to say run the press box, but I make sure I'm the first, stop before you get to anybody else inside of that area, the scorekeeper, the PA announcer, the people running your video boards, your DJ, like, before you can get to them, you got to get to me. So being able to feel that, because where is the lost key at? Where is this at? Well, which parking lot was this car about to get towed? Like, people got 1,000 questions. Oh, we got a different preacher today for invocation. Like, you have to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Somebody's mad because the speaker's not working. Blah, blah, blah. So being able to manage those things. I've done weddings, wedding setup, floral design, event design. So just kind of pull those interdisciplinary ability to pull those things together. And then I'm really comfortable in the sports space. Like, I already love sports. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, like, my role model is St. Marshall. St. Marshall is the general manager. What?
First, fun fact, I don't watch sports.
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair. Totally fair.
Yeah. I know it's awkward.
She's the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
She joined that team right after they had some scandal stuff going on. But she used to be the president of AT&T in North Carolina.
Wow.
So that is how I first come across her. And she just had a story that I just kind of resonated with. And I've followed her career.
I think I remember her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
See?
Yeah, the AT&T brought it back. I was like, that name sounds familiar.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So she I think she retired probably right before I went to Joplin, if I'm not mistaken. Or she didn't. She left that to do HR. She moved to Dallas to do something in HR, like training director or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's someone that I've always followed. Why was I talking about St. Marshall? Why was I talking about St. Marshall? I get carried away. Be talking about her.
I don't know.
Oh, sports. Why I love sports though. So just like even seeing the different women come through sports and do different things in sports, it's like I want to be a part of that. Like I love sports isn't just for guys, and even especially like female centric sports, roller derby. I mean, guys play roller derby, yeah, but it's for the girls. Yeah. It's good for the girls,
Yeah.
Flag football. I'm big on even tackle football for women. I've been watching like the Nashville tackle football team.
I didn't know that existed.
Oh yes. Really? Oh yes. Oh yes. I said I need to get back in the gym because that's my kind of style. I love me a contact sport. Okay. Yeah. If I always say one day I'm gonna just put my skates back on and be like, let's do it. I'm pretty sure I still got my helmet somewhere. But
I had a friend that broke her fibula and tibia last year on skates.
I believe it.
Like it was just dangling.
I believe. I played roller derby for like 4 years. Yeah. So I've seen some pretty
yeah,
good injuries.
It was crazy. She out skating with her son. She was actually headed back into the house. It was done playing.
It's almost
back
never
to the house,
roller derby.
fell.
Yep. It's almost never roller derby.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But back on B Dot, do you know his manager, Tiffany?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she contacted me this morning. She's supposed to come on the show this week.
Awesome.
This week or possibly next week.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing some work together for a while.
Good.
I met her back during Greensboro Fashion Week because she was modeling.
Okay.
So,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Small world. I did some work for B Dot too.
Actually did her mother's makeup when she passed away.
I shot their the little funeral they had.
Okay.
So I got a question. So I saw you promoting like crazy, always putting up reels and posts when you were at when you had the brick and mortar. So I don't see you post now. So like, how do you market what you do now? Like what's
maybe do you follow my 10 to 2 page?
I think I do.
I've been posting like
that's Instagram, right?
Twice a day on Instagram.
You might not be on my because you used to always every time I got on.
We gonna make sure you think.
Yeah, I'm sure I follow you. I'm sure I do.
And I could just.
You used to always be like you and like a handful of other people would always be in my. Every time I would open the app, something would be coming up. Yeah, see. I follow you.
Yeah, that came out yesterday.
Yeah, I guess it don't be on my feed.
You know
how I be that way though. It's the algorithm, man.
No, and then I haven't posted stuff for Faberspace. I mean, I have been posting like motivational stuff. So that was another thing. It was like, what do I do with the brand? Yeah. So I had just been kind of going back and forth. And honestly, I think I'm at the point where I'm about to cut that off too. Like, it's just gonna just be Sheena. There's not gonna be a Faberspace because I still do business consulting and all that, but I can do that under the Sheena brand.
Yeah.
I can do everything under one brand.
I've been seeing a lot of people do that now.
Tired of having so many logos.
They go by themselves. They go by their name. And then
I'm Sheena. That's
I do this and this and this. Like, I am the brand. It's easier.
It is. It really is.
So how's that YouTube journey?
Slow, just because I feel like I'm one person. And like you create and then you put something out there and it flop and you're like, ugh. And then you do that over and over and over and over and over again. You're just like, ain't nobody watching this. So then at the same time, no, definitely. At the same time, I was trying to, get to TikTok. So, and then I'm running 2 pages. I'm running Faberspace and my own page. So at the time, me personally marketing myself wasn't the market thing that I was marketing. So it was like, I'm not going to put as much effort there because that's not making me, it's not making no money. Faberspace is making the money. Right. So I'm going to put my effort in Faberspace. And then, after a while, it just was like, okay, gotta separate that. I gotta come back. So,
Are you afraid to invest time and effort in TikTok with the news that it might get shut down?
A little bit. I mean, not anymore. There's nothing more to invest that I am invested already. I think more now. So how do I repurpose that same content to put on YouTube? For YouTube, in the way that is suitable for YouTube. I think that's really more of my question is, if it stays great, we already on path. We already posting twice a day. We already, doing creator insights. We already got a TikTok shop. Like, we already doing the things to grow on TikTok. So that has been good. But I would love to, transition. I ain't gonna say transition, but I understand they're not the same.
Right now.
So, and even in recording, like all my TikTok stuff, I can do on my phone. Yeah. I can't do that. I mean, I can do it, but it's heavy on my phone if I do that. Like, I want my cameras, I want my different quality for my YouTube, and I just don't have the skill set in that area. I mean, I could do the minimum, but I don't really want the minimum. So it's just really been more where I can allocate the time and the resources to do all the things that I want to do. But again, that's where I'm back to. Like, I would love to grow my YouTube. That's where I would like to primarily be, is YouTube. And then the other social media sites are kind of primarily like other places you can get the same type of content. Right.
Yeah, I tell everybody to focus. If you got limited time, just focus on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, I've seen, like, I personally have helped accounts grow and just see them go from $0 to $100 to $200 to $500 to $1,000
so when
to
you say grow,
$15,000.
what do we do? Like, what do we do? How do we grow the channel?
People normally have to pay for this information.
I'm sorry.
Nah. I mean, it's out there.
1, 2 things.
It's consistency, really.
Okay.
Like, that sounds cliche, but it is.
No, that doesn't.
It's consistency.
Okay.
It's you got to kind of commit to. I'll say you don't got to have a niche today as much as you did in the past. You can kind of be slightly here and there, but like, you still got to have a basis of, like, if I'm going to your channel, I need to know, like, what am I watching?
Gotcha.
Like, you can't be talking about
bad bitch lifestyle content.
So if it's that,
yes,
you probably don't want to make a video about your favorite rap music. I don't know. Like, you want to keep it.
Well, I need something for the car. See, this is how my brain works and why my stuff be all over the place. Because, like, no, I need a whole video to talk about my playlist.
Nah, you can't do that.
In my
you
Porsche Macan. Like,
you can. I would say on average, no.
Okay.
But then at the same time, somebody could point you to 100 creators that do that, and they.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's changing. It's changing. But and then you gotta think about your titles.
Okay.
It needs to be a searchable title.
Okay.
And your thumbnail needs to be catchy.
That's why I struggle, because I'm a witty somebody, boy, and I be trying to be funny in them titles, and they be like, nobody sees this.
Keep it.
Okay.
Think like if somebody was searching for this video.
That's what I'm learning with TikTok too.
Yeah, same thing.
Because I be trying to name Sheena eats a ton and this, that, and like, no, watch me make a how to make a get ready with me. Yeah. Like, that's it. It's sometimes we overthink certain parts of it and be like, that's not what you need to do. Like, this is the part you need.
Yeah. Are you, like, the crypto market and stock investing is hot right now? Are you into any of that?
Stocks, yes, somewhat. And that's something I've been into for a long time. I'm not so let me clarify. I'm not one who sits and I don't day trade or anything like that, but I am, locked in with my financial planner, my financial advisor, to make good decisions and, do some things that set me up a long time ago for today and, for the future. So I will say that. That is definitely one of those things where I did not try to bother learning, or this is somebody that I trust and I have trusted it for 15 years or so that has been in this industry. So I'm into it. Crypto, a guy stopped me in Lowe's one day and talked to me 30 minutes straight. I mean, just random guy in Lowe's, all about crypto, probably 4 years ago. And I was like, this man crazy. Oh, no, ain't no dang. This was back when not PPP loans, when we had the pandemic money. And I was like, I got a few extra dollars. Yeah. So I put it into Bitcoin. Was it Bitcoin? Yes. I bought like a coin account. And
Coinbase?
It was a couple, it's a couple of, little investments I got in there.
And looking good right now, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they should be looking good right now.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, I won't say
that I'm a guru. I just be watching some, a few videos. I had the money to do it at the time.
I'm trying to learn it more.
Cool. I definitely, like, it is absolutely 100% risk for me because I have no clue what the hell I'm doing.
It's a risk for everybody.
I don't know, but they was like, hey, you should do this. So I did it.
I understand them. When I first got into it, it was the same way. It's like you be on fire, like. when you 20x some money like
Yes.
overnight, it's like you be telling people like, yo,
Right, what?
get in this, get in
Right,
this.
that's
Like
what
my
happened to
client,
me.
we
The
be
guy
shooting them.
blows, bro.
I'd be like, yo, get in this, and they're like, I've heard about it, but I'm like,
It
yo,
don't matter. You don't want to be behind.
yeah, like because now
You
people
wanna
trying to
be
get in,
behind,
it's
yeah.
$100,000.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was $20,000 back then.
Yep.
19, 18, something like that.
It is crazy.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit like when you're not working, what are you into?
I like being outside. So I like festivals. I like breweries and wineries. I like outdoor eating at foods. I said festivals already. Mostly that kind of stuff. I just mostly like being outside.
You're
I'm
the first person to give me that answer.
what I being outside.
No, like
Oh.
to just give me like a real answer. Everybody always, when I ask that question, they always say, "I just like spend time with my family." And
Oh, no, I don't like.
I
to spend time
understand
with
that.
family. I mean, they cool.
Yeah.
That's not something I do in my free time.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be like, that's
If
not an answer.
I have time. Like if Jackson is with his dad, I'm somewhere, at the Botanical Gardens or at Lowe's, the beer garden.
Yeah.
Like I just prefer to be outdoors somewhere,
Okay.
or I'm in the bed rotting. One or the other.
Okay. You said you're in the bed rotting. Mm-hmm. I assume you're watching TV.
It's on. It's normally watching me.
Okay. So you don't got a favorite show?
Yes, I do have a favorite show. It's The Pioneer Woman. Ree Drummond. She
What's
is
that on?
The Food Network.
I thought you were about to say Netflix or Amazon.
I don't watch Netflix.
You don't watch Netflix?
I don't even have Netflix.
I just got,
I don't have Netflix. The only thing I have
I
is
don't have it
Hulu.
either. I got somebody's account.
I don't even have that.
Really?
I have Hulu. And that's just so Jackson can watch the Thundermans. But other than that, I don't really watch TV. I mean, I will watch the cooking shows. That's it.
What's the last movie you seen?
The Grinch. Do that count? I watched that last night.
That don't count. Well, I mean, it counts.
The Grinch was so Christmas. The Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, it counts.
I watched that one last night.
What's the most recent movie you've seen?
Beetlejuice.
How was that?
It was great.
I heard it was trash.
I loved
The
it.
reviews
No
were
way.
like-
I loved it. That's crazy. If you're into like campy Beetlejuice, like if the same kid that was watching the first Beetlejuice watched the second Beetlejuice, they would be happy.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Like,
I loved it.
they compared them and they're like, it's not. All these remakes they've been doing, like
It's
these
not a remake.
not a remake, but like a 30-year.
I love them all,
sequel?
so maybe I am biased to that because I love all of them. Everybody hated Coming to America. I loved it.
Really?
Yes, I
I ain't
mean,
never see that.
I ain't gonna say I don't like I'm not. I can deal with campiness in a movie. Like I can deal with it not being perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, it was a pandemic. Everybody's acting everything. You know what I mean?
I feel like Beetlejuice is a little too late. Beetlejuice old as heck.
It was. I thought it was good.
It's on streaming now.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I
I
said I was
almost
gonna
got
check
it
it
the
out.
other night. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
My
I
daughter wants to
enjoyed
see
it. And my favorite like woman villain is in it. She was the lady who played the queen in The Brothers Grimm. That's one of my favorite.
I think I've
movies.
seen that. I don't remember. I think I've seen it. I just don't remember.
I can't think of her name. She's Italian or Brazilian or something like that, and she was in it. So I really enjoyed seeing her. But Beetlejuice. I do like going to the movies. I can go watch the same movie over and over again.
I can't watch
I probably saw Color Purple 4 or 5 times in the theater.
Yeah, we don't have the same taste in movies.
Godzilla, I probably saw that 4 or 5 times
Godzilla?
in the theater. Mhm.
The,
all of them.
Godzilla 1?
All of them.
Is that good?
Every one of them.
That's the only one I haven't seen.
Yeah, there's not a bad Godzilla. And Godzilla 1 is honestly really, really, really one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's not American.
I was blown away at how good
Yeah, I heard
that movie
fire.
was.
I ain't watched it yet. but
It
that
was
fire.
really nice. I mean, again, it's Godzilla we talking about, so it got a little shaky for a while. But I did like the new Empire, and I really loved the Godzilla one. Godzilla one was something different. Like, it gave me a whole nother respect. It probably, like the way people fan over Avatar, is kind of like how I fanned over Godzilla one.
Okay, I'll definitely check that out.
You got to from a filmography, like
Yeah.
cinematography standpoint. Like,
I watch all that.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
That's what's up.
And when they turn into the pink joint, oh my
Wait,
God,
no,
go watch
that
it.
ain't Godzilla 1.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Nah, the pink one, that's Godzilla and Kong.
Who?
Godzilla and Kong.
No, you gotta watch it. Watch the movie.
Really? So he does that too?
The
Okay,
movie.
okay.
I've
I just
seen
thought the pink one, that's what I saw in.
It's not.
We gonna see.
Okay,
We gonna see
it's
about
good.
that.
You got to see it. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I'll check that out.
I'm telling
What's
you.
before we get out of here, I do gotta ask you though.
Okay.
What do you think about? If you've heard about this, what do you think about the drones they've been seeing in Jersey?
I haven't really heard too much about it. I mean, I've heard like a story. That's like all that I heard about was like people have been seeing drones.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
That's it.
Like the size of a car though.
Oh dang! No, I heard that.
They've been sending them in clusters. They've been sending them separately, but they also send them in clusters of like 50.
Oh.
And the local government there is like,
We don't know what y'all talking about.
if y'all know anything, let us know.
I know something.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Right.
I got you. So they think it's the invasion of the aliens. Ah!
That or
I gotta find out.
Or countries that don't like it. Yeah. So
okay, gotcha.
It's all kind of different.
Oh my goodness!
could
Nah,
be.
I gotta hop on the net.
Yeah, hop on TikTok. That's
Okay,
where,
okay.
That's where all the truth is.
I got you.
That's why
God,
that's why they're trying to shut it down.
That's scary.
That's why they're trying to shut it down.
Okay, you are not wrong. Can't say that you're terribly
Because
wrong.
the news comes out on there like
It
this.
does. It does. It's
So,
faster than Twitter.
yeah.
Twitter's a hot
Yeah.
mess too.
I've never been on Twitter.
What?
Never had
Nah,
Twitter.
Twitter's my jam. I
have-
got like 20K on Twitter.
Nice.
So yeah.
You need to move them on over
We
to
be
YouTube.
cool. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, y'all go watch my videos, but that's apparently not how you
It's
do
hard.
it.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah, that's not how you
It's
do
hard
it.
to move people from platform to platform.
Yeah, it is.
Are you on Threads?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I don't use it. I think it could be if I use
I heard it
it
was
the
hot.
way that other people. Yeah, I see a lot of people say a lot of good things about it. I feel like it's like a more social LinkedIn. Is really how people start to use it. A more like entrepreneurial LinkedIn.
Gotcha.
How calling all content creators the meet and greet, and that's great. Y'all girls get it together. So I my stuff feeds to it from Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
That's the extent. Yeah. I try to go in and be responsive to the messages, so just so people aren't just sitting and waiting for a response. Not to say that anybody's sitting and waiting for me to respond, but
Were you on were you on Clubhouse during the pandemic? Really? Okay, I got there.
I'm not necessarily interested in hearing other people talk. I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't listen to.
I listen to podcasts. I listen to Joe Budden's podcast.
No, not really.
It's kind of fire.
I got to be in the mood.
I listen to it when I'm editing, when I'm driving. I'm in like situations.
There's not a single podcast that I keep up with. You know what I'm saying? Like I just be I be in my own little head, in my own house, playing with the dog and shit. Yeah.
In nature or
and outside, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of, have you been? They changed the name, but I think it's called Postcards or. But the Getaway.
Yes.
You did one of those before?
Yes, I went last November, down in Asheboro, and it is really nice.
I went to the one in right up the street,
Asheboro.
I'm tripping.
You are.
In my head, you said Asheville.
Oh no.
I was like, they ain't got one of that, but
no.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I loved it. I liked being out there. Again, I like being in the woods.
Yeah, that was dope.
I built 1,000 fires.
I didn't build anything.
I did. I used everything in there. I ordered served
I was being
pizza.
cheap.
It was so good. I had a good time. It was just me, so I had a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah,
I'm looking
it
forward
wasn't
to
just
doing
me.
Ooh. Nah, I needed to get away. It was actually that trip I took to get away and came back and broke up with my boyfriend at the time. It was nice. Sometimes you need a little clarity. You be like, bruh.
I want to book another one just to make a vlog, like to do a little review.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do too.
I meant to do it then, but it was. Just,
I might have to
we only had
find me
one
a
night.
little boo or somebody to take up.
This time I might go alone just to.
It was nice, yeah. It was really nice. I got some really good content out there. Maybe I do a new video because apparently nobody knows I'm social media.
I used to. I told you when you was in your space, he was always popping up. But
it's the algorithm.
I just pulled up your page, so maybe you'll start back flowing through.
Thank you.
I be seeing you on TikTok going live though.
I be on TikTok, yeah. I be trying.
What's the most people?
Like
what's the
7, 8.
7?
No, nobody watch me on TikTok either. They don't like me on TikTok.
I'm scared to go live on TikTok. Before we get out of here, how can the people find you if they want to check you out?
You can find me on YouTube at It's Sheena, ITSSHEENA. And I am on all the social medias at Tendin2, TENDIN2, the number.
Where does tending to come from?
I'm a nosy kid. Okay, I'm still a nosy adult.
Tending
Actually,
other people's business.
yes. Well, actually, what my aunt used to tell me, I would ask her what she was doing. She was like, tending. I'm like, tending to what? She's like, tending to my business. So when I first started Twitter way back in like 2011, I was like, I'm just going on here to see, talk about myself, little blah, 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 blah. I'm just tending to my business. Gotcha. So that's how Tended to started. And then like just because that's how Sheena Brain work is everything else is the same after that. So Instagram became Tending to, and then the bigger I got on Twitter, it was just like that's who I became. It's just you Tending to now. Oh. So I'm like, oh, okay. But so I'm trying to strip Tending to. I'm trying to strip. Well, I'm not really. Tending to ain't going nowhere. Gotcha. It's not going nowhere. Okay. Tended to has her own set of nicknames, her own set of expectations. Like Tended to is her own jam. You know what I mean? So I leave her like. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, that's where Tended to came from.
All right. Well, y'all check her out. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the episode. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. All right. Wasn't too bad, right?
Yeah.